Hey Kip, it's me, Str8sixfan. You asked for it, so here are all the cars I've owned, lined up, bumper to bumper. Alright, so off the top comes my first vehicle, a 1995 Ford F-150, 4.9 liter, inline 6, 5-speed. So this truck is the namesake of my channel. That's where Str8sixfan comes from. It's all about that motor. This was my high school vehicle all the way up until I graduated college in 2008. Since I didn't actually purchase that vehicle, but my parents did, bought that truck off my dad's construction company for me used. I think it had 138,000 miles or something. I'm not counting that as the vehicle I've owned the longest. So we'll move on to the 2004 Mazda 3. It was the first car I bought based off of an acceptance letter for my first job in college. 2008 would have been the summer of $4 a gallon gas, and I knew that my transmission problem prone F-150 was not going to cut it on my 60-mile one-way commute to Topeka, Kansas from Manhattan, Kansas, as my wife was finishing up college. But this car proved to be one of the most dependable cars I've ever owned. We, I think, bought that with about somewhere under 40,000 miles and took it all the way to 213,000 miles with next to no maintenance. We delightfully dubbed this car Trey. So a few years into marriage, then after my wife's high school college car kind of floopered out, I'll say, I let her have the Mazda 3, and then we bought for me a 1997 Ford Ranger. I think this was somewhere around 2010 or 2011. But again, this was actually a fairly dependable truck. I think I only paid $2,900 for it, and I bought it with 110,000 miles. Took it to 14,000 miles as well. But this is the truck. The unique story here about that truck was, well, it fell victim to some black ice, probably in its first year of ownership. I spun it out on I-70 doing about 60 miles an hour. Got to watch some oncoming traffic for a bit. Slammed into the Jersey barrier, so had to have the frame straightened, but it was money well worth it to straighten that frame, as that truck was long lasting. Having good luck with Rangers, I thought, why not buy another one for the next vehicle? So I bought a 2000 Ranger with 96,000 miles, and it wound up being more of the 16-year-old vehicle that it was in 2016 than the one with 96,000 miles. So about 9 months into it, I sold it. For a little less than 2 years, I owned that 2006 Jeep Liberty CRD, which you can find here on my channel. It just got to the point where it was a rare motor, and the cost of maintaining that thing was a little expensive. Thinking kids would be on the way sometime soon, we decided to upgrade to a 2010 Ford Taurus, which we dubbed Goldilocks, and we had that for 4 years. Took it from about 60,000 miles to 140,000 miles. So that brings us to the end of the line, and the three vehicles you're probably most familiar with: 2008 Toyota Tacoma, the 1978 Ford Fairmont, and the 2015 Ford EcoBoost Mustang. Well, I hope you enjoyed my bumper to bumper challenge. Go check out the channel America Bumper to Bumper for Kip's love of all things automotive.